Hello, we'll be talking about institutional highs and lows. Just before you go through this lesson, it's important to go through candlestick anatomy and then candle structure. Ensure you must have gone through those ones, then you can come to this one and continue. So, institutional highs and lows are significant highs and lows in price action. And we're talking about hills and valleys, relevance of hills and valleys, then ICT swing high slash low versus hills and valleys. Now, this is because institutional highs and lows are identify them using ICT swing highs, and then I also identify them with something I figured out myself, like would I say kind of high and low, which I call hills and valleys. So let's go right into the chart and then we are going to make more sense out of this. So first of all, we need to identify or learn how to identify what is a hill and valley. So I will give you a diagram. Now, if you look at price action sense of from the sense of a candlestick, is beautiful, but you have some things that is going to elude you, obviously. But then let's look at price action from the angle of a line chart. Our highs goes like this and our lows go like this. Okay, so just look at this. If you look at this point where we have a U, it gives us a what? It gives us this curve. So this curve, this U curve is what? Is the valley. While this point where we have this kind of N curve is what? Is the hills. If you want to see this in candlestick, it might be a little bit more challenging or complex, and that's why most persons find it difficult to identify institutional highs and lows. But from a line chart, it's very easy, and we'll go to the chart. You will do this together with me. I'm going to switch between candlesticks and also line chart so that I can see what I'm talking about. So just take note of that because I think at this point of you learning, you want to be writing and taking notes. Now, the next one is relevance of highs and lows. The importance of these levels. So let me mark this point. This is a high, and I always do mark this on my chart, and this is a low. So this low and this high, what is their relevance? The relevance is that oftentimes or most times price orders reside there. So orders reside there. There are points where we have liquidity residing. So price will definitely seek these levels or these points for liquidity. Okay, so that's just the basic relevance of these highs and lows. Like they're very, very important. Price is always seeking for liquidity. So you see price either going up or coming down to seek for the liquidities at these various institutional highs and lows. But I call them hills and valleys, and you see why I call them hills and valleys. Now, the third point I have here says ICT swing high and low versus hills and valleys. So how does ICT swing points seeing high and low, aligns with hills and valleys with the fractal in cognizance or in alignment to the fractal nature of price. So let's go down to the chart and look at this now. So I want you to this is a 1 hour chart on USD card. If you look at this chart now, we have candlestick. If you look at this chart, just like this candlestick, let me just increase it so that I can work with this segment that I'm looking at. We have candlestick. Looking at candlestick, it might be challenging or not easy to identify a hill and valley. But I want to give you a hack to identify hills and valley, which are also swing points, such as swing highs and swing lows. Whenever you have two different candles going up or coming down, they form either a high or they form either a low, which means they form a high hill or low valley. So at this point, watch, we have a blue candle going up and then a black candle coming down. This is a hill. At this point again, I just want to identify the ones that are popping up. This point will have a high going up and a low. That is two different colors. So we'll have a hill again, a blue and black candle. That is a bullish and bearish. So two different candles forms a high or a low, which means we have a valley here. So now I've identified this one. So let me change the colors of this one. So let me change this one to yellow and this one to red so that you don't miss it when I transpose to the lower time frame. That's it. Now, what is ICT swing high and low? ICT swing high and low is basically when we have three candle pattern. So we have one, we have another candle here, and then you have another candle right here. So this one has a wick that is higher than the wick here, which means the high of this candle, that is this wick now, is not higher than the high of this first one. If you go through the candlestick anatomy, we start talking about when I mean highs and lows. So you will be able to understand what I mean when I say high and low. High is the highest traded part of a candle, irrespective of the color. That's the highest part. So let me mark this out. So here we can see that this, okay, let me use another color. We can see that this is a high. This is the highest point between these three candles. So whenever you have three candle formation like this is what a swing high according to ICT. And same thing happens if the reverse is a swing low. So let me show you a swing high in this chart. So let's take this, come to this point. This is a swing high because this blue bullish bar to the left and to the right, you have candles that their high is lower on both sides. So this is a swing high. Then come down here, this is a swing low. But remember that this swing low is also what I call what? Valley, because there are two different bars. So I want to show you how these things align. So let me change it to white. Then coming to this place, we'll have another swing low, a swing low, three candle formation. And in ICT swing high and lows, the color of the bars does not matter. So we don't check for colors of bars, we just check for the formation of three candles with one standing out. The high is higher than the candles on both sides, and the low is lower than the candles on both sides. That is just ICT swing high and swing low. So let's come to this point again. Okay, sorry. You will see this is also what? A swing high. Then this one is a potential swing low that is forming. Same thing here and all that. Okay, so that is just it. So we've talked about the relevance of this, right? Now let's transpose to the lower time frame. I will show you what this is going to look like, and then we'll come back and then check to see them on a line chart. So let's go to 15-minute chart, because this is 1 hour chart. Now transposing to 15-minute chart, you can see what do we have here? We have three candle pattern. A what? A value. Now what do we have here? On the higher time frame, we only had two bars, remember, going up and coming down. But when we transpose, what did we have? We now have the swing high, which I talked about. Now come to this point, you see a swing high again. Now come to this point, you see what? A swing low. So this point where we have the highs and the what? The lows. Now when I talk about high and lows and combining everything, I'm talking about both the valleys and the what? The hills, and both ICT swing high and ICT swing low. How can we identify them perfectly? We can identify them perfectly by seeing the point whereby we have two different candles going up and down at the same time. That point is what? Is a high. And then when you see one going down, coming up, that point is what? Is a low. So don't confuse that. So which means whether we are using valleys and lows to identify our swing points is correct, and whether we are using ICT swing highs and swing lows, perfectly correct. So let's go back to 1 hour time frame and then we transpose to a line chart. So this is my bar. I want to use a line chart now. So can you see that whether you say ICT swing high and low, exactly, this is what we have here. This is a hill. Doesn't matter whether I call it a swing point or I call it a high and low, whatever. This is just a hill. So this is just a simple way you can easily identify swing highs and swing low on your chart, and you can see them every time. These are where institution reside order. So we'll keep building on this and we'll talk about how you can frame this as a trade idea and use it to take up entries or whatever. So look at these various points to marks. You see, that is just it. Highs, lows, swing points, swing high. Don't confuse yourself. These are just simply turning points on the charts, and that is just it. Having said that, ensure you go through the previous lesson so that I can be able to understand this one properly, and then check out for the next one. So bit by bit, a step at a time, we are going to keep building this until you master these concepts. Thank you.